Welcome back, viewers. Welcome to the Orangutan's new series, Farming Simulator 22 for Dummies. Now that by no means means that people are dumb. What it is it's a carry-on from a bunch of books brought out in the 80s and 90s, like Computers for Dummies, Car Maintenance for Dummies, Knitting for Dummies. It was just books that put things into layman's terms so they were easy to understand and made it less technical. So the first of our series is going to be on grass. Not many people spend enough time on their grass, and good ways to do grass and better ways to do grass, and these are only my opinions, but let's start off. So the first way we've got to do grass here is this way. Now you might be doing some sort of a let's play or whatever where this is what you're going to do. All I've got's a whippersnipper and $10, so you could do it this way, and that'll cut your grass. As you can see, it's leaving a trail there. You'll need something to pick it up with. If you were really poor, you could take the option to use a shovel. So yeah, this actually works. You could do around your yard. I'm out doing the whippersnipping on a Sunday morning, blah blah blah, but this is actually the first time I've ever used this. I thought I'd throw it in just for fun, and there we go. Option number one, the whippersnipper. You'll find it in mowers. I think it's about $200. Second option we have is this, which is a walk behind mower. It does not a bad job. So as you can see, that's not too bad at all. Keep it nice and straight. You'd have to come along and use something to pick that up. Just as we don't own this land. You can mow this grass as well if you own the land. The thing is, you can't fertilise it and you can't control the yield or anything. So it's good while it's free. If you just start off with a whippersnipper on free grass, you can get your grass for free. But I recommend planting a field the first opportunity you get. Fertilise it and do everything to it to get the maximum yield that you can. So there's option number two. It's in the mowers section. It's actually a standalone mower, so it's like one that you drive or ride. It's not in trailers, it's in the actual tractor mower section. Now, early in the piece, you're probably going to end up with something like this setup if you play a game where they've set up your stuff. So here you've got a mower. It's just a cheap, I think it's $9,500. And we've got a cheap, we don't really need it, but they give you one anyway, a cheap windrower. So we'll go to the front. You've got to control your little tractor up the top. See how we're on the front option. Unfold mower on the top left hand side. Then we'll lower, turn on. Press triangle to go to the back. Unfold windrower. Lower windrower. Turn on windrower. And away we go. So as you can see, what's happening here is we're mowing it and it's throwing it all over to the side. We'll probably turn around and come back. Bit messy there, but This will also throw it, and it throws it into the centre so that you then pick it up. I'll show you how in a moment. So that's throwing the grass into the centre. And that's another option, and that's the option that you're probably more likely going to be given when you start out. Now, if you're lucky enough, you may get one of these. Now, we'll just disconnect this stuff. So there's that off. Go to our... Got to fold it up. So if you want to know how you pick this up, this is just a cheap wagon, hold 16 tonne. I think, when I say cheap, let's just have a quick look. They're not really that cheap. Yeah, it's $30,000, so... Once again, lower the pickup, turn on the wagon, you'll see it spins there. Then we come in. And there you go. You'll see that from behind there's no grass left on the field. This you can take over, and most of the silos nowadays are multi-fruit, or you can put it straight into your sheep pen. You can put it into silage bays, but you know, this isn't the idea. About this is to get good quality grass off the field and ready to use for whatever you need to use it for. So I think this is all in-game. I think the whippersnipper's modded, but the rest of it's in-game stuff that you can use. So an extension of this, probably a better way to do it, especially if you like to use workers, is we'll clip the mower back up. And we'll have to unfold it. Remember, once again, we want the highlighted bit on which tool we're using. It used to always get very confusing for me. Still does sometimes. Now I think our wagon's still on. Lift, pick up, turn off. Yep, so off we go. Hopefully this is going to work. It's going to mow and pick it up. So that's cutting out the windrowing step, which you don't need at this stage. Sometimes if you've got the small mower on a tractor and you want to pick up a lot at once, you can get a bigger, wider windrower, which will then put it into one pile. Might put 3 rows in 1 row, if you understand what I mean. That's why it's a rower. It's a little bit rough on the corners, but if you want to stop and reverse and that, or you can just pick that up later. So this is better again. Now the good thing about this is you can put a worker on it. So I'll take that worker off and I'll just give you a demonstration here. So I've got it all running. It's best if you start it all off and then you get it going. He's lifted that up. So turn on the wagon, triangle to the front, lower mower, turn on mower. We're off and running again. Now hopefully this will pick this up. And then you hit circle, and there we go. So that's a set and forget cheap method. The forage wagon fills up rather quickly, so on big fields like this you probably only get a strip, so it's not really set and forget. As you can see, we're at 89% already, but just off with the circle. Take this back to, like I said, wherever you want to put it, you know, like, it's up to you. So they're some cheap and easy methods that work. Okay, now let's go and get some more advanced tactics. We'll see how we go with that. So next up, for you know, bigger farms with bigger equipment and when you've got more money, we've got the class disco pack. Now, why it's a disco pack I don't know, but everybody likes a disco, so we'll just go with it. We like it. It's a disco pack. Looks like around 20, 40 to 70,000. We'll get you this pack, and when we go back to here we are. So once again, unfold mower. Now, you used to be able to hook the back of this onto the front and then run a wagon behind it, but they don't seem to have that option anymore. Not that I know of. If you do know of one, let me know in the contents. The contents? You can let me know in the comments if you wanted. So lower mower, then once again triangle, see the front's white, unfold, lower, turn on, and away we go. Now you'll obviously need a windrower to, but you buy, there's a great big class one. I like the class gear, especially for my grass. But yeah, it's up to you what you use, but it's all good looking stuff. You wouldn't be able to afford this tractor early in the piece unless you've got a lot of money. You might start with a lot of money. But there's a big class windrower which will row this up in no time. I'll get to about here, turn around. And we'll head back. I don't know what happened there. Trying to there is a toggle work mode that normally if you can get it to go, I'm not quite sure how it works with this particular mower, but you can sometimes get these to throw left, right or in the middle, but that's something you can work out. But at the moment we're just getting the grass up, so there we go, up and back in this one. The next of our options, and probably my preferred method for large fields, if you're not going for bales and you just want loose grass, which you can nowadays you can put into dryers or feed directly to your animals or put it into silage, you can do whatever you want with it. But for $55,000, the TARDIS XL, 200,000 litres or 200 tonne of grass. Now if you don't like to go with the extreme. If you think that's a bit unrealistic and I'm more a purist, well, you can go to one next door, 50,000. There are some that hold around about that, but they're all a lot more expensive than this. But yeah, the TARDIS and this is like set and forget for quite a while, and it does take a lot of crops, as you can see. So let's try it out. So I've got our mower on the front. Once again, we'll go to the front, unfold mower, lower mower, turn on mower, and we're going to go to the back, lower the pickup, turn on the wagon, start it off, check it's working, and hit circle. Excuse me. As you can see, that mower's picking up quite a bit of grass there, and it's filling up rather rapidly. But this thing is, yeah, this is good. This is more a advanced farming technique for when you've got the set and forget. You know, you've got a fair bit of money. I don't think it takes that much power to run. You could probably run it with a medium tractor. That's something you can experiment with yourself. You might get away with 180. You know, in the 200s, 230, you can get some tractors fairly cheap for around there nowadays. I think there's one you can get there for about 70,000. It's got 260, one of the case ones. But yeah, this is the go. And this will just go up and back and up and back. Sometimes you've got to do the ends yourself because it won't turn around. But we'll let this go for a bit and I'll show you the result at the other end. We'll go up and back and see how much we pick up. So here we are with our next option. Now we're getting into the big stuff now. But we've just let that other TARDIS keep going. So unfold mower. Once again, check the white's lit up on the front on your little tractor icon. Lower mower, turn on mower, go to the back, unfold your baler. Now we're getting into some quite expensive equipment now. I know the mowers in mowers for 50 something thousand. The balers are over about 150. This one, but is very cool. You can see the baler things filling up. There goes the mower with the TARDIS on the back. It's on its fourth way back now. As you can see, we're covering a bit more ground here. Once again, we can use this as a time saver. When you've got that huge big farm and you've got crops to get out and you've got cows to feed and greenhouses to fill up with fertiliser, you know, you can't be sitting in this. At the start, when you first start off, I found it's fairly slow on Farming Simulator. You need to get yourself built up. But once you've got yourself a bit of a farm going, this is the sort of setup that you want. So it's set and forget. This will just do this whole field if you let it. They're the options you'll notice if you've watched any of my Let's Plays. These are the options I go for. I like to use workers. I find it a bit tedious going up and down yourself. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm one of the ones that don't. But in saying so, you still got to come back and check on them. You know, you don't just... if there's anything that they can possibly run into, they will. If you park a tractor somewhere where you think it's out of the way, these guys will run into it. So here we go, we'll get a turnaround here at the end. Got a few bales out. And with your bales, you used to have to shred them up to put them in your animal pens, but nowadays I think you can just, most silos you can just sit them on the intake thing and they'll just take them in. Most animal pens you can just dump a bale in the trough and it'll do it itself, or you can use a bale shredder. I don't know where this guy's going, see what I mean? If you watch them, you'll drive yourself mad because you think, where's he going? So that's why I tend to do the set and forget bit. But he's managed to get it around. And here he comes on his second He's doing some nice bales. I don't think there's a round baling option with this. Not quite sure. But that's something, you know, you can look into yourself. If you like round bales, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. With the TARDIS too, when it goes past, that's set up there with the TARDIS on it. You could have that going with a baler. That'll work just as good. I just like this because it does a bit more width. You know, we're getting rather than a single strip at about 3.5 metre, we're probably getting maybe 6-7 metres out of this. Other thing is, it's good on cornering. If you want to drive it yourself and do a couple of what I think they refer to as a headland around the outside of your field, this won't miss hardly any. Because it turns with the machine, it'll grab all those bits that come out on the outsides and throw them into the centre. Anyway, so that's a great option as far as I'm concerned. Let's move on. So here's our last and our next and last option. This is a swather, Agco swather. You can change the brand. There's 4 different brands. There's Hesio, Case, Agco, I think. But it's $100,000. And the beauty about this is when you press R3, there's a 9.2 metre wide mower that goes on the front. The thing on the right we won't worry about for now. That's for doing, that can turn it into hay. You can see it's only 5 metres, but yeah, 25,000, 125,000 gets you this setup. Let's give it a go. Once again, lower mower, turn on mower. And look at that, that's doing a nice wide cut. This is the quickest way to get your fields done. So the other two are still working away, or they should be. We'll lift that up. So you get quite a bit, but what you want to do is you want to hook it up. I think it's the very last baler, the Vicon fast baler. Now you can try all different, there's all different attachments you can put on the back of things nowadays, and you might get something else to work. We'll get this over here, we'll get it straight in a moment. Now I've actually never tried this before, so let's see if it works. I hope it does. Whoa, look out, come on mate, where you going? See what I mean? About to run into you? Okay, so lower pickup, turn on baler, lower mower. I think the baler's working. We'll soon find out. No, it's not. Okay. Turn off baler, lift, pickup, fail baler. It hasn't actually picked up any grass yet. Or has it? I think it is. Oh, there we go. Oh, once it gets to there, it does that. Oh, there you go, it works. So once it fills up on the top bit, it'll then send out a bale. Now this is wrapping them. I'm pretty sure we can have it wrap or not wrap. Maybe not. Well, this wasn't quite what I intended. It's actually doing silage bales, but no matter what I press at the top there, it doesn't actually change anything. But the main thing is we're getting the grass off the field, so maybe this is a good option for silage. Not what we intended, but hey, just a few more things to cover, viewers. The next thing is, but how am I going to pick up all them bales, Ranger? Well, if you're poor, or maybe it's your preferred option, you can pick them up with a bale spike, which is a front end or a telehandler attachment. You'll know what they look like. They look like pointy things that pick up bales. And so I'm not going to go through that, but this is an automatic bale trailer with auto load. Now some of them you've got to watch out. Make sure in the options you turn on the auto load. And another important thing is the size. You'll see there it picks up round 125 to 180, square 180 to 240. Now balers have different sizes. Some of them you can adjust the size. You've got to line up. You've got to get your loading wagon, your automatic bale picker upper, to match the size of your bales. Otherwise you'll drive past and it'll say this bale not suitable or something like that. So if I look at I can't remember which one we bought. I think it may have been, no, it was one that had a size thing on it. So I'll have a look at this, customise. See down there, now I missed this a moment ago and had to go back and change it. Auto load, no or yes. If you don't have it on auto load, it's just a normal trailer where you put them on yourself. If you do have it on auto load, it'll do this. Which I think's magnificent. Look at that. And look how many bales we got just on that. Like, these are fair sized bales. And it pulls them in from a fair way away too. Sometimes if you're good, you can get a couple to go on at once. Like, you just got to try to drive straight between them. Like, look at this. Yeah. Let's try something fancy here. So as you can see, grass it's no big mystery, but there are ways to do it that can make it not so much of a task. I don't know if we'll get another row on this or... Yeah, we will. So, you know, if you've got a field, you're going to get millions of bales. I don't know what you're going to do with them all. You're going to have a gigantic shed to put them in. I don't know if they deteriorate over time. They used to deteriorate, and if it rained on them, they'd deteriorate. I don't know if that's still an option. Like I said, I've played since 15. Not much on 15. I think it was free on the PSN store. I played a fair bit of 17, then I bought 19. And then it came out in the PS store, which is, of course, obvious. But it always does. That's Murphy's Law. I'm pretty sure if you change to that, unload bales, you can move them sideways. See that? And I think if you put them down there and press triangle, no. Put them on the ground. I've always had trouble with this. Unload bales here. There we go. So that's how you do it. Just one last thing. Go back over to our field here. This is probably the most important thing. That's harvested and it's 50%. Now it says it needs rolling. Got a roller here. This is in the roller section for grassland care. This is supposed to give you 130% yield. Now, I don't know if it actually does. I've tried testing it a few times, but it's a bit hard to work out. It says it's a weeder, but what this will do, And like I said, this is probably your most important. You can fertilise that. It'll cost you fertiliser, whether it be manure or buying fertiliser. And if you've got a large field, it can cost quite a bit. But with this, and once again, it'll go on auto. That is now 100% fertilised. But you have to do it before it starts to grow. So you've got to get into it as soon as you finish. Yeah, as soon as you finish mowing, run your roller over. So that's how, and then you'll get a good yield all the time without having to fertilise. Now you might say, oh, fertiliser's not that much, but if you play for a long time and you do this 10 to 20. So the whole idea of this is to help people to get the grass off their fields and to where they need it as quickly as possible. I hope it helped. There's probably a million more combinations that you can use. That's the beauty of Farming Simulator. You're not put into a stereotypical role, like you don't have to do it with this equipment in that way. You can do it. There's a million ways. There's probably a million ways I haven't shown. If you know any, put in the comments. I'd love to learn. I've got a fair few hours in this game, but I'm by no means an expert, as you can probably tell by my terrible driving. And so I hope that helped. It's the first of my series. I'd like a bit of support. Always like and subscribe if you like, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. We'll find something to do then. Okay, until then, stay safe. Bye.